Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, we talk about rare coins, hidden treasures, and the incredible stories behind everyday change that could be worth life-changing money, and today's story is no exception. We're talking about a coin that millions of people have held without ever realizing what it might be worth: the 1971 D. Washington quarter. Now, this might look like just another ordinary coin, but there's something about one particular 1971 D quarter that makes it one of the rarest and most valuable coins in American history. We're talking about a value of $1.6 million for a single quarter. So how did a coin worth 25 cents end up being valued at over $1.5 million? Let's dig into the history, the details, and the shocking reason this coin became a collector's dream. First, a little background on the Washington quarter. It was first minted in 1932 to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Originally mint as a one-time commemorative coin, it became so popular that it replaced the standing Liberty quarter and has been minted ever since. The obverse of the coin features a profile of George Washington, and the reverse features an eagle with outstretched wings clutching arrows and olive branches. By 1971, the design had been around for nearly 40 years, and the coin was struck in huge numbers. Over 258 million Washington quarters were minted in Denver that year, which is what the D mint mark stands for. So, with so many produced, why would any one of them be worth $1.6 million? The answer lies in a combination of a rare mint error, incredible condition, and mystery. Let's start with the error. Most 1971 quarters were struck on copper-nickel clad planchets, which is a sandwich of copper core between two layers of nickel, but one of these coins was struck on a 90% silver planchet. That's right, silver quarters were officially discontinued after 1964, but due to leftover silver blanks used for special strikes or accidents in the minting process, some slipped through the cracks. Some experts believe this particular silver planchet may have been intended for a proof coin or was left behind from an earlier mint run. The result is a 1971 D quarter that weighs differently, shines differently, and rings with that distinct silver sound. The second thing that makes this coin valuable is its condition. This particular quarter was found in what collectors call gem condition, meaning it shows almost no signs of wear. Weary talking mint state 68, possibly higher. The surfaces were clean, the strike was sharp, and the luster was untouched. Finding a 1971 D quarter in this kind of pristine state is already hard enough. Finding one struck on a silver planchet in that condition is nearly impossible. Only one example like this is known to exist, and it made headlines when it was sold at a private auction for a jaw-dropping $1.6 million. That sale shocked even veteran coin collectors. This was not a colonial-era coin, not a gold piece, not something pulled from a sunken ship. It was a coin minted in 1971. Many people alive today have held or spent a 1971 D quarter without ever imagining that one of them could be worth more than a luxury home. So the question is, could there be more out there? The answer is maybe. That's the thrill of coin collecting and hunting through your change. It's possible that another silver planchet error is still sitting in a drawer in someone's home or buried in a coin jar in a kitchen somewhere across America. So here's what to look for. First, check the date. Make sure it's 1971 and that there is a D mint mark, which is located just to the right of Washington's ponytail on the front of the coin. Then check the color and weight. A silver quarter will have a brighter shine and lack the copper edge you normally see on modern quarters. If you have a scale, a regular clad quarter should weigh about 5.67 grams. A silver planchet quarter should weigh closer to 6.25 grams. That's a small difference, but it can be enough to reveal the secret. You should also check the sound. Silver coins have a unique high-pitched ring when dropped on a hard surface. If anything looks off or feels different, don't spend it. Instead, get it checked out by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. They can confirm whether your coin is genuine and assign it a grade, which can dramatically affect its value. Even if it's not the $1 million version, a 1971 D quarter in high mint state can still be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars to the right collector. So next time you're going through your change or searching through old coin rolls, keep an eye out for this incredible coin. The 1971 D Washington quarter might just be the most valuable piece of pocket change you'll ever touch. One rare coin, one minting mistake, and one incredible payday. That's the magic of coin collecting. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on stories like this. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin or if you've got questions about what to look for next. Until next time, happy hunting, and who knows, maybe your next quarter will be worth more than $1 million. Let me know if you'd like a matching video description, title, and thumbnail idea to go with this script. Welcome back to the channel Rarest Coins. If you're new here, we talk all about rare coins, hidden treasures, and the incredible values that might be hiding right in your pocket change. Today's video is about a coin that most people wouldn't think twice about: the 1981 P. Washington quarter. That's right, a coin minted in the early 80s, right in the heart of the modern coin era, is now making waves in the collector world, and believe it or not, one very rare version of this coin has been valued at a jaw dropping $1.4 million. Yes, $1.4 million for a 25-cent coin you might still find in circulation. So let's break down the story behind this coin, its history, what to look for, and how something so ordinary became so unbelievably valuable. Let's start with a little background. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington. It replaced the standing Liberty quarter and became a permanent part of U.S. coinage. Due to its popularity by 1981, the design remained basically the same, with the portrait of George Washington on the front and the eagle with outstretched wings on the reverse. These coins were minted in 3 locations that year: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The one we're talking about today is the Philadelphia Mint, which is marked with the letter P. Now here's where it gets interesting. In 1981, the Philadelphia Mint produced over 600 million quarters. To most people, that sounds like a lot, and it is, but in the world of coin collecting, quantity doesn't always kill value. Sometimes it's a very specific error or minting anomaly that turns a common coin into a one-of-a-kind treasure, and that's exactly what happened with this particular 1981 P quarter. A very rare specimen was discovered that had several characteristics that made it stand out from every other coin minted that year. The first thing that makes this coin special is that it was struck on a transitional planchet. That means it was minted on a metal blank that was not intended for that coin. It's believed that the coin was struck on a foreign coin planchet made of a completely different composition, giving it a unique weight and color. This would not have been part of any regular production and may have occurred when the U.S. Mint was producing coins for another country, which they often did during that era. The second thing that makes this coin valuable is the strike quality and its condition. This 1981 P quarter was graded mint state 68. And that is incredibly rare for this year and mint. Most of the coins from the early 80s were handled loosely in large bags and distributed through high-speed machinery. That means they often picked up scratches, dents, and general wear before they even reached the public. Finding one in pristine condition with an almost flawless surface is nearly impossible, and when you add the transitional planchet error on top of that, it creates a once-in-a-lifetime collectible. The coin in question went through professional authentication by a top grading service and was placed in a high-profile auction where it shocked everyone by reaching a final price of $1.4 million. Now you're probably wondering, could there be more of these out there? The answer is yes, but they would be extremely hard to find. Only a few of these transitional planchet errors have ever been reported, and many could still be sitting in drawers, old change jars, or tucked away in coin rolls waiting to be discovered. So here's what to look for. Check your quarters for the year 1981 and the P mint mark. Examine the color and luster of the coin. If it looks different or feels lighter than a standard quarter, it could be struck on the wrong metal. Use a precise scale to weigh the coin. A normal 1981 P quarter should weigh around 5.67 grams. If your coin is significantly off, it could be a red flag. Next, check the coin's condition. Even if it doesn't have a striking error, in 1981 P quarter in perfect mint state can still bring in a nice amount. From collector's mint state 67 or higher can fetch hundreds and sometimes even thousands of dollars. If you think you found something unusual, don't clean it, don't polish it, and don't try to improve it. That could ruin the value completely. Instead, have it evaluated by a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC. They can authenticate the coin, determine its grade, and tell you whether you've hit the jackpot. Now, here's another thing to remember: coins like this are not just about the metal or the date. They read about the story. This one-of-a-kind 1981 P quarter tells a story of minting error, chance, survival, and perfect condition and discovery. That's what makes coin collecting so exciting. You never know when the most ordinary-looking piece of change could turn out to be worth a fortune. So the next time you get change back from the store, take a moment to look at your quarters, flip them over, check the dates, and pay attention to any little details that seem off, because that one coin you almost didn't notice might just be worth $1.4 million. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and want to hear more incredible stories about rare coins and valuable finds, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and tap the bell so you don't miss any of our future videos. Leave a comment below if you've ever found something unusual in your spare change, or if you've got questions about coin collecting. We'd love to hear your stories. Until next time, happy hunting, and remember, treasure could be hiding in plain sight right in your pocket. Let me know if you'd like a YouTube title, description tags, or even thumbnail concept to go with this script. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel Rarest Coins. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of coin collecting, and we've got a story that's going to blow your mind. We're talking about the 1996 D Washington quarter. Now, I know what you're thinking. It's just another modern coin that you've probably seen in your spare change 100 times, right? Well, what if I told you that one of these quarters is valued at over $1.3 million? Yes, you heard that right, $1.3 million. For a 25-cent coin minted less than 30 years ago. So, what makes this coin so special? Let's break it all down. First, a little history. The Washington quarter has been around since 1932 when it was first issued to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington. It replaced the standing Liberty quarter and quickly became a mainstay of American pocket change. By 1996, the Washington quarter was a very familiar sight, but not many people were looking closely at them, and that's where the story of the 1996 D quarter gets interesting. The D Mint mark stands for the Denver Mint, which produced hundreds of millions of these quarters in 1996. To be exact, more than 900 million of them rolled out of the Denver facility that year. So why is this particular one worth millions? It all comes down to a rare minting error and the condition of the coin. There's a version of the 1996 D quarter that was struck on a planchet that wasn't meant for a quarter. At a planchet is the blank piece of metal a coin is stamped on somewhere. During the minting process, a quarter design was accidentally stamped onto a planchet intended for a different coin like a dime or a foreign coin. This mistake caused the design to be slightly off-center and for the coin to weigh less than normal. But that's not the only reason it's valuable. One of the few known examples of this error was discovered in almost perfect condition, what collectors call mint state or MS condition, and not just any mint state. We're talking MS 67 or higher, which is incredibly rare, especially for a coin that was never supposed to exist in the first place. When you combine an ultra-rare error with near-perfect condition and the fact that so few of these have ever surfaced, you get a coin that collectors will pay just about anything to get their hands on. In this case, someone paid a jaw-dropping $1.3 million at a private auction for one of these 1996 D quarters. That sale shook the coin collecting world and brought attention to a coin that most people would have otherwise tossed into a vending machine without a second thought. Now, here's where it gets even more exciting. Because of how rare and subtle the error is, there could still be a few of these quarters out there sitting in someone's change jar or coin roll. So how can you tell if you have one? First, check the date. It has to be 1996 with a small d under the word "In God We Trust." Then check the coin's weight. A normal quarter weighs about 5.67 grams, so if your coin is significantly lighter, it could be struck on the wrong planchet. Next, look for any visual oddities. Off-center design, strange metal tones, or unusual reading around the edges. If you find anything that looks strange, your next step is to get it authenticated by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. Do not try to clean it or alter it in any way. That could ruin the value instantly. Collectors are looking for untouched coins in original condition, even if your 1996 D quarter isn't the $1 million version. Some of these coins in high grades can still fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars. And if you're into coin roll hunting or metal detecting, this is one coin you'll definitely want to keep your eyes peeled for. So the next time you get change back from the store, take a second to look at your quarters. You never know, that 25-cent piece might just be your ticket to a $1 million payday. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more stories about rare coins, valuable finds, and the hidden treasures you might already own. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin in your pocket change, or if you've got a question about coin collecting. We'd love to hear your stories. Until next time, happy hunting and good luck out there. Would you like me to help you turn this into a video storyboard or generate a thumbnail concept? Welcome back to the channel Rarest Coins. If you're into rare coins, valuable finds, and hidden treasures that could be sitting in your pocket right now, then you're in the right place, because today we're diving into one of the most surprising stories in modern coin collecting history, the 1990 P Washington quarter. Now, I know what you're thinking, a 1990 quarter? That's not exactly ancient history, and it's probably a coin you've spent 1,000 times without even looking at it. But what if I told you that one version of the 1990 P quarter has sold for a staggering $1.2 million. That's right, $1.2 million for a coin that most people wouldn't look at twice. So how did this happen? What makes this specific quarter so valuable, and how can you tell if you might have one? Let's break it all down. First, a little history. The Washington quarter has been part of American coinage since 1932. Originally designed to honor George Washington's 200th birthday, by 1990 the design had become a classic. With the familiar portrait of Washington on the front and the eagle on the back in that year, the Philadelphia Mint struck more than 613 million quarters with the letter P on the front indicating where it was made. That makes the 1990 P quarter one of the most common coins of its time. So again, what turns something so common into something worth over $1 million? The answer is twofold: a rare minting error and exceptional condition. Let's talk about the error first. The most valuable 1990 P quarter ever discovered wasn't just any coin, it was struck on the wrong planchet. In this case, the coin was accidentally struck on a planchet intended for a 5-cent coin or possibly a foreign coin. That meant the quarter came out with incorrect weight, a slightly smaller diameter, and a completely different appearance than normal. This wasn't a simple misstrike or surface defect, it was a complete mismatch from the very start of the minting process, because the US Mint also struck coins for other countries. During that time, planchet mix-ups like this were rare but not impossible. When an error this dramatic happens and goes unnoticed until after it leaves the mint, it becomes a collector's dream. And that brings us to the second reason why this coin is so valuable: condition. The $1 million version of the 1990 P quarter was found in nearly flawless condition. We're talking about a mint state 68 or higher with perfect strike, sharp details, and mirror-like surfaces. It was authenticated by a professional grading company and put up for auction, where it shocked everyone by selling for over $1.2 million. Think about that for a second. A coin made in the 90s that someone might have gotten as change from a soda machine ended up being worth more than most houses. Now here's the best part: there could still be more out there. That coin wasn't supposed to exist. It slipped through the cracks, which means it's very possible that a few more slipped out too and haven't been discovered yet. So what should you look for? Start by checking the front of the coin for the date 1990 and the letter P just below the date near Washington's ponytail. Then take a closer look at the edges. If you don't see the typical copper nickel sandwich coloring on the edge and instead see a solid silver color, that could be a sign of something unusual. You can also weigh the coin. A normal quarter should weigh about 5.67 grams. If your coin weighs significantly less or more, that could mean it was struck on the wrong planchet. If you notice anything odd about the way the coin looks or feels, hold on to it. Do not clean it, polish it, or try to improve it. That could destroy its value instantly. Instead, contact a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC. They will examine the coin, authenticate it, and assign it an official grade. That step is essential because it turns an interesting find into a verified collectible that serious buyers will pay big money for. Even if your 1990 P quarter isn't the $1 million version, it can still have value. Coins from that year in top condition can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars, especially if they show full details and no damage. But the holy grail is the rare mint error that changes everything: a simple planchet mistake, a perfect condition strike, in a story that ends with a $1.2 million payday. It's a reminder that sometimes the most valuable treasures aren't buried underground or locked in a vault. They're hiding in plain sight right in your pocket. So next time you get change from the store, don't just toss it aside. Take a second look, flip those coins over, and see what you've got, because you never know, you could be holding the next $1 million quarter without even realizing it. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss another rare coin video. Drop a comment below if you've ever found something unusual in your change, or if you have questions about a coin you think might be valuable. We love hearing from our viewers and sharing your discoveries. Until next time, happy coin hunting and good luck out there, because your next big find could be closer than you think. Let me know if you'd like me to create a suggested video title, description, or thumbnail idea to match this script. Washington quarter dollar, highlighting its history, the rare minting error that made one worth $1.5 million, and what viewers should look for. It's designed to engage viewers from start to finish, using a natural YouTube voice and avoiding brackets and asterisks exactly as you requested. Rarest coins YouTube script. This 1988 D quarter is worth $1.5 million. Here's why you need to check your change. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're passionate about coins, rare finds, and surprising treasures that could be hiding in your pocket, then you're going to love today's story. We're talking about a coin that most people have seen countless times and probably spent without a second thought: the 1988 D Washington quarter. To most people, it's just another quarter worth 25 cents. But what if I told you one rare version of this coin sold for a jaw-dropping $1.5 million? That's right, $1.5 million for a coin minted in 1988. Let's dive into the full story behind the 1988 D quarter, what makes it valuable, and how you might still be able to find one just like it. First, let's talk a little about the coin itself. The Washington quarter has been part of U.S. coinage since 1932, when it was first introduced to honor George Washington's 200th birthday by the The time 1988 rolled around, the design hadn't changed much. It still featured Washington's bust on the front and the eagle with outstretched wings on the back. In 1988, the Denver Mint, which is represented by the letter D below the date, produced over 596 million quarters. That means the 1988 D quarter is not rare by mintage numbers alone. You can still find them in circulation today, and chances are you've handled one many times over the years. So, how does one of these become worth $1.5 million? It all comes down to a rare mint error and pristine condition. Let's start with the error. The coin that sold for $1.5 million had a dramatic and extremely rare minting mistake. It was struck on a planchet that wasn't meant for a U.S. quarter. In fact, it appears the coin was struck on a foreign planchet that somehow got mixed in during the minting process. This created a number of striking differences. The coin had a slightly different color tone, a lighter weight, and a thinner edge than a normal quarter. It also had a weak strike on certain parts of the design because the foreign planchet didn't match the intended dimensions for a U.S. quarter. Now, mistakes like this are incredibly rare, but they do happen, especially during times when the U.S. Mint was also producing coins for foreign governments, which they were doing in the late 80s. So, while the error was a complete accident, it turned this coin into a once-in-a-lifetime collector's item. Now, let's talk about condition. The million-dollar version of the 1988 D quarter wasn't just a mint error, it was also found in stunning condition, graded mint state 68 by a top-tier grading service. It had flawless surfaces, sharp details, and a beautiful original luster that's almost unheard of for a coin from the 1980s. Most coins from that era were tossed into circulation almost immediately and picked up scratches, dings, and wear before they even reached your hand. Finding one with a major error and in near-perfect condition is like winning the coin collecting lottery. This exact coin was discovered by a collector who almost didn't notice the difference at first, but after weighing it and inspecting the edge, they knew something was off. They sent it in for grading, and when the results came back, the coin went to auction and made history, selling for $1.5 million. So how can you tell if you might have one of these rare coins? Here's what to look for. First, check the date. You want a quarter dated 1988 with a D mint mark just below the date on the front. Then examine the edges. Normal quarters have a visible copper core and a ridged edge. If the edge looks strange, or if the coin is thinner than normal, it might have been struck on the wrong planchet. Weigh the coin using a precise digital scale. Standard 1988 D quarters should weigh about 5.67 grams. If your coin weighs significantly less or has an odd feel, it could be worth further inspection. Also, pay close attention to the details of the design. If parts of the lettering or image look soft or weakly struck, that could be another sign of a planchet error. And most importantly, if you find anything unusual, do not clean the coin. Cleaning it will destroy its value. Instead, send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. They will examine it, certify its authenticity, and give it a grade that can help determine the market value. Even if your 1988 D quarter doesn't end up being worth $1.5 million, it could still be worth hundreds or even thousands if it's in exceptional condition or has a more common mint error. The truth is, coin collecting is full of surprises. Sometimes the most ordinary looking coin can turn out to be the most valuable. And when you think about how many people have handled quarters from 1988 without ever looking twice, it's amazing to think that something so valuable could still be out there waiting to be found. So the next time you're going through your change, don't rush past the quarters. Take a second look. You might be holding something rare, something valuable, and maybe even something worth more than a house. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss another incredible coin discovery. Drop a comment below and let us know if you've ever found a rare coin or if you have a question about a coin in your collection. We love hearing from you and sharing stories from collectors all around the world. Until next time, happy hunting, and keep your eyes open because treasure might be hiding in the change sitting right in your pocket. Let me know if you'd like a title, description, or thumbnail idea to go with this script.